Hey everyone, welcome to Monday's lesson. The first thing we're going to do is review from last Wednesday, which has to do with the product and quotient rule. Okay, so um, basically, anytime you see a multiply, you think add. Anytime you see a division, you think subtraction, and that basically summarizes what we did on Wednesday. Okay, so here's the example we did last Wednesday. Okay, let's go straight to the hardest one. Okay, um, you see a minus here, so you think divide. Okay, so log base b of 4x over 3y times y, which is right here. Okay, times because anywhere you see a plus, you think times. So let me throw in some highlights here. Okay, so here you see a minus, so you think division. Okay, here you see a plus, so you think multiplication. Okay, and then you have a y on top, y on bottom, and so you can cancel that so that your final answer is going to be this blue highlight here, log base b of 4x over 3. Okay, go ahead and do these problems here the same exact way, okay, that you just saw on the previous slide. Press pause to finish that up, and let's move on to the new part of today's lesson. Okay, so here's a new part of today's lesson. Okay, the new part of today's lesson is very, very simple. Okay, all it's saying is that if there's an exponent here, okay, you can move it to the front so that so the 2 goes to the front and you get log base 10 of 1,000. Okay, so all it's saying is that you can move this 2 back and forth to an exponent on the right side, or you can move it over to the left side as a big number coefficient. Okay, now why is that the case? Okay, log base 10, let's look at this log base 10 of 1,000. Okay, let's look at these two things right here. Let me just highlight one of them. Now let's do log base 10 of 1,000, okay, on the right side. Okay, so log base 10 of 1,000 equals to question mark. Okay, equals to question mark. Now you can use circle of logs, and remember, start with the visually small number, circle out and then back, and then you get 10 to the power of question mark equals to 1,000, and question mark equals to 3, because 10 times 10 times 10, 3 times gives you 1,000. Okay? All right. So I actually should have highlighted this one right here. Okay, I should have highlighted this guy right here. So basically, 2 times 3 is going to give you 6, and that 3 came from this yellow highlight, which came from all of this right here. Okay, now let's see if we get the same thing on the left side. Okay, let's see if we get the same thing on the left side. All right, so now I'm right now looking at this 1,000 squared. Okay, I'm interested in this 1,000 squared right here. 1,000 squared is going to be 1,000 times itself, which is 1,000,000. Okay, so you can do it on your calculator. 1,000 times itself is going to be 1,000,000. Let me type that up. So now you're going to get log base 10 of 1,000,000. Okay. All right. So you see how these green highlights match up. Okay. And then you basically do the same process, okay? Over here, I'll actually do it, okay? I'll do it manually, okay? I'm going to copy and paste it and do a green highlight right here. And set that equal to question mark. And then we can use circle of logs and say 10 to the power of question mark is 1000. Okay, so 10 to the power of question mark is equal to, not 1,000, sorry, 1,000,000. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 10 to the power of what is 1,000,000? Okay, the answer is 6. 10 times itself 6 times. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 6 times, gives you 1,000,000. Okay, so we're going to get 6 here. All right. So now you get 6 on the left and 6 on the right. So the whole reason I showed you that was because whether you keep the 2 here or you move it to the left side like you see here, you're going to get 6 as your final answer. Okay, I just want to prove to you that no matter where you place the 2, okay, here or here, whether you place the 2 right here or right here, you will get the same answer in 6 and 6. Okay, all right. So remember, you can move the 2 from right to left, or you can move it from left to right. Today, mostly, we're going to be going from left to right. Okay, so watch this. We're going to combine what you did for warm-up today, which was Wednesday last week, with this little new thing. We're going to add just a little bit of a twist. So I'm going to show you a hard problem, okay? Quote unquote hard. It's not really hard. You guys can definitely do a problem like this. And then you guys are going to do, and then you'll be able to do the other problems below after this, which is easier, medium, and just as quote unquote hard as this one. Okay. So, okay, let me just scoot this up a little bit. All right. Now, I'm going to move that. I'm going to move that. And I'm going to move that. Okay. So as of right now, what I have is this to the power of 3. And this is to the power of 2. And this gets deleted. And this right here, I'm going to throw in another parentheses, is to the power of 3. Okay. Like that. Let me throw it in red here. Okay, look at how I got those red numbers. Okay, look at how I got those. Just through that property I just taught you. Okay, let me create some more space here. Okay, so now this becomes, this is going to become 8. So let me change up, I'm going to change up these, I'll throw in some gray highlights here. Okay, I'm going to change this to 8. I'm going to change this to 16. Okay, and I forgot to delete this guy here. Okay, and I'm going to change this to 27x cubed. Okay, the reason that's 27x cubed is because this gets distributed. Okay, this becomes 3 to the power of 3, which is 27. Okay, whoops, that's not there. This becomes 3 to the power of 3, which is 27, and x to the power of 3, which becomes x cubed, so it becomes 27x cubed. So as of right now, we get, okay, I get a 27 here. I get a 16 here. And I get, as we just discussed, I get a 27x cubed. And from here on out, it's basically what we did for warm-up. Okay, so once you get to this step, it's basically what you did for warm-up. Okay. Now, as of right now, we start with the parentheses. Anywhere you see a minus, you think divide. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and handle. Okay. Let's handle the parentheses first. Okay. 16 over 27x cubed. Okay. That's what the parentheses becomes. Okay. Folks, I totally made a typo here. This should have been 8. Okay. Let me throw these gray highlights here. Okay, so just make sure you understand how these gray highlights on top become the gray highlights on bottom. Okay. And now we have, so now this I'll reuse yellow right here. Okay, this yellow became this yellow. Okay, and then we have the 8 in front right here. Okay, 8 times. Okay, and times because this plus means times. Okay, this plus means times. Now, you're going to get log base 5 of, you do 16 times 8, which becomes 128 over 27x cubed. Okay. Now, in this case, you're pretty much done. Okay. Now, sometimes what you can do is simplify this further, just reducing a fraction. Okay, you can reduce that fraction. So let's say if it was 9, a big fat 9 over 27, then you can reduce it to 1 over 3. Okay. All right. But in this case, you cannot. Okay. Now let's also pretend, let's throw in another one. Let's pretend your final answer had x to the power of 7 on top. Well, now you have 7 x's on top, 3 on bottom. After canceling, you will get x to the power 4 on top. Okay. So in this case, you get x to the power 4 on top. I made up that case. I made up this scenario. Okay. And in the previous case I made up, this was 9 over 27, which would make 1 over 3 after you reduce it. Okay. But those things that I wrote in red were made up scenarios. That's not the final answer. This in black is your final answer. Okay. So folks, hopefully that makes sense. Go ahead and do these problems over here. There's no 16. Okay. Your answers will be posted up there. Okay. So go ahead and get started on this. Okay. And I will see you on Thursday if you have any questions for me. Thank you very much for tuning in.